Player of the Year. That's an old picture of Steve Jaros. I don't know if he wants that shown on national TV, but it's too late. Dave Dientremont, you had the 7-10 split in the last game in the semifinals. How are you dealing with the pressure now? You haven't won since Wichita of last year. How are the nerves?
Tell you what, the pressure's off right now. The pressure was coming into this week, the position I was in on the point list. You know, this is just icing on the cake. You know, making the TV show was a big help. Now with the extra 4,000 points for finishing second, me and Steve, let's just get it on.
Go get him. Good luck. Looks like your opponent's ready. Your wife, June, has been here for your 2 titles in Toledo and in Dallas. She's here again today. Does that mean this is an automatic win for you?
Well, I wouldn't say it's automatic, but let's hope the 3rd time's a charm. You know, Dave and I were joking before. We were hoping we were going to get to bowl each other today, and sure enough, here we are now. So, you know, it's been an unbelievable season, and, you know, bowl another great game here, see what happens.
Randy, maybe Steve Jaros, Player of the Year? Possibly. We'll find out. Looks like he's ready to go.
And there's wife, June. A lot of players are asking June if she's got a sister. Some of that luck rubbing off. And Steve Jaros is having the best year of his career. Big money on the line, 40,000 for first, 25,000 points. And as you heard Dave Dientremont said, he got rich this week. Finishing second guarantees him a spot in the exempt field for next year. And that is a ball change to start this match, and why not? The last match he shot 186 with the other ball he was using. Looks like he's trying to go a little bit straighter.
6 titles, but the last one, as we talked about with Dave a moment ago, October of '02, opening last season in Wichita. Lances the side of the pin. He'll take it.
Okay.
Avoids an open.
Good thing there was an extra coat of paint on those pins this morning. Just kidding, there's not, but
Get a lot.
you know, you could say the wind blew it over, or whatever you want to say.
A couple weeks back in Dallas, February 22nd. Came career title number 5. He's also won 30 regionals. Oh, a little high there, though. Not the start he wanted with a 4 in the 9.
Going over to get either the spare ball or another. Yep, that's the spare ball.
I was hoping I didn't need this.
And you know, I like that logic. He left it over there hoping he didn't need it. This ball's a high one and leaves the 4-9. Got to get the ball left of the 4 pin, slide it into the 9.
A brilliant show and a brilliant year for Steve Jaros yet again. However, an open frame, but it is early, leading us to the Baby Ruth. Real deal matchup, Randy.
Average advantage, strike percentage advantage. A lot of that having to do with what Dave did the last game. Dave Dientremont knows how to strike, and so does Steve Jaros. Look what he did in the last game. 7 of 11 strikes, threw a lot of strikes at me. He's been red hot as of late.
Touch high there, 4 pin up.
Started up early.
5 TV shows. Toledo where he won, Latham, Seattle,
Pushing off.
Dallas, and now Indy. Wife June and the twins couldn't make it to Latham and Seattle because they found out too late. Ticket prices were way too high. Try to book. And in Seattle, we started pretty early West Coast time. They couldn't get her there in time for the show after he won on Saturday in Tacoma. But she's here again today, looking for another victory. He's a 1 game away from it. She'll be at the World Championship with the twins in 2 weeks.
We talk about how tough it is on the tour and the grind. It's probably tougher for the wives and the family at home. The husbands being gone all the time. And nice shot there by Dientremont, that 20-week grind.
Can I bowl on that lane only, please?
He looks good on the right lane, but check out this left lane. Some real issues. Last 4 frames. 3, 6, 7, 10. Through the face again, 3-10. Blowout 7-10. Ball change. First frame of this match leaves a 4 pin.
Yikes, big trouble on that lane. Help for the 10, no. Trying to go across the deck for number 10, it stays up.
And the only good news for Dave Dientremont, he finishes on the right lane.
With those numbers and our video evidence, he's very glad of that fact.
You see Dave Dientremont taking that deep breath and exhaling, almost like he's gasping for wind. I talked to Chris Barnes last night.
Close.
And asked him if he could
Close.
describe what it's like on television trying to make shots. And he said, well, for the folks at home, think about the first time you tried to bowl your first 600, your first 700, your first 800. Remember that first ball you tried to shoot your first 300? Steve Jaros comes in high, leads a 4-pin. Remember what it felt like when you needed that hit? That so little energy or so little oxygen going to your brain, that massive adrenaline rush. That's how we feel with each and every shot on the telecast.
Jaros done a pretty good job overcoming that kind of pressure. Very good season for Jaros. TV appearance number 5, looking for that 3rd victory of the year. He's down 12 pins here. I can't imagine. This is my 2nd year covering the tour for ESPN and working with you, Randy. How you guys face this drama and pressure, and this year with the Exempt Tour on the line, even more to deal with.
Well, the great champions handle it obviously better than the also-rans, but I think that's what makes a great champion. Steve Jaros is coming into his own, and he is a great champion.
Steve Jaros down 12, looking for title number 3 on the season. Some 3 hours before our telecast today here in Indy, folks were lined up waiting for the top seats. We are sold out. As we see how we got to this point, Uniroyal Tire Classic. Dave Dientremont bidding for his first title since October of '02. He's won 6 times on tour, has a major to his credit at TOC. Got a long time for Double D. Trying to get back in the winner's circle, and yeah, watching his right.
God, I love coming out of commercial.
Not been good. Man, this ball hangs again down the lane. Chris Barnes told me after he got done, he came up to the booth, Dave Ryan, and said, that right lane's got some serious hang down the lane. And you could see it right there.
.210. Tough one.
Made it.
Got it! Oh, a huge shot for Dientremont. The side of the 2 into the 10, leading us to the Uniroyal Tire rock and roll without question.
And this shot right here keeps Dave Dientremont ahead in this game. He's going to get this ball to roll just left of the 2-pin, throws it into the 10. Perfect conversion at a crucial time.
Without question, worthy of the Uniroyal Tire rock and roll, and he follows up at the Uniroyal Tire Classic with a big strike on his trouble lane, lane 69. Jaros down 10 pins. Said he overcame a back injury. As he talked to us before the match today, back really tightened up at the start of the week. Right in the pocket, crushes the rack, shreds all 10 down into the pit. And he really wasn't sure as they got toward qualifying here, the 2 9-game blocks prior to match play, if he was going to be healthy enough to bowl.
And then June came in, probably gave him a massage, and the next thing you know, Steve's bowling for his 3rd title of the year. But Steve's been very, very impressive in what he's been doing with his game, and what he's been doing is just basically keeping it simple. I mean, his motion is effortless. It looks like he's doing absolutely nothing to it. And this ball, when it hits the pin, strikes every time.
Open for it to turn. Late help on the 7.
Right there.
As we saw the max scores, things are very close here at Indy. Our final major and final TV show of the season, folks, coming up 2 weeks from the EMU campus, Ypsilanti, Michigan. You can get great arena seats still available on the EMU campus, PBA.com. Double points, 120 grand, and a 5-year exemption.
Count them, 5.
Boy, is that ever big.
1, 2, 4, 5. Oh. And right now, Dave Dientremont in a whole lot of trouble on the right lane, trying to get his ball to face the pocket. Remember the shot before in this lane, he went light and left the 210. To compensate for that, he tries to get it finish a little bit harder, and it drifts high.
Three-bagger for Jaros. Dientremont, when did he win last? He was the wild card. That was Wichita of '02, as we mentioned, got by Patrick Healy Jr., who then won the next week in KC. That was last season. Trouble lane. Can he overcome the issues on the left lane?
Oh.
10-pin.
That was a good shot, too. Not a good sign when a player's shaking his head in the middle of a championship match.
Ken Howard Center was absolutely rocking last night. Right after the round of 8, I mean, filled almost every lane except for the TV pair and the ones we're using to set up our arena setup here in Indy. Jam-packed, so we thank him for his help. And look out, 10-pin up for Double D. What?
See this time and time again on the tour when players are trying to figure out how to get their ball to the pocket. A lapse of concentration costs them single pin spares. Happened to myself this week. It happens to us every week. Trying to figure out how to get our ball to strike, we forget the job at hand. And right now, Steve Jaros could throw a ping pong ball down the lane and strike.
Late trip on the 9, Randy, really helps his cause. Now a 32-pin lead as he's got a 4-bagger going.
I mean, he's got pins flying everywhere, tripping out 9s, carrying the Wally 7s.
Things drastically changing with the open frame in the 7th for Dave Dientremont.
You could very well be looking at your next player of the year. And he's got a stranglehold on this match right now with this shot. Just absolutely perfect.
His wife knew how important that shot was, and we heard it from Dave.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, heard it from Dave Dientremont what trouble that was, the open frame. And Double D is in huge trouble, down 42 pins suddenly. 5-bagger for Jaros in effect.
Steve Jaros has got 5 in a row. His opponent, Dave Dientremont, because he can't get his ball to the pocket, is making more moves than Bobby Fischer at a chess tournament, trying to figure out how to get his ball to strike.
He has the idea there. Today, ESPN offers up more NBA action. Special day and time. Paul Pierce and the C's continue their fight for the playoff berth. They visit Kevin Garnett, Sam Cassell, and the T-Wolves, who've been one of the NBA's best teams this season. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time, NBA special on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. T-Wolves lead the Midwest, and in that Western Conference, 44-18 record. They've been excellent all year.
We have action.
Make him show up.
But a great year for Steve Jaros, who's won 2 titles for the first time in his career. Bidding for a 3rd now. Toledo, Dallas, maybe Indianapolis. He's closing in. His wife, June, has seen both titles this year in person. The Twins are being watched right now by someone on the PBA Tour. They're 4.5 years old.
Wow.
They probably can't appreciate how great a bowler their daddy is right now.
And this is where you can see the mental focus and the concentration being displayed by Steve Jaros. He showed absolutely no emotion. This shot right here was the big shot that all but clinched the title for him, and he showed no emotion going dead flush. All he needs is a mark in the 10th frame, and this tournament is his.
That's what he needs. Looking for the 7-bagger. 10th frame.
Bang.
A little bit high.
Man.
Does it again.
Wow.
Can you believe it? Yes.
How's this one for the money? Can you say high flush?
You bet.
While we watch June react to the prior strike, Steve Jaros does it again. And wraps up a 3rd tour title of the season. Randy, plain and simple, June has got to travel with Steve for every single show and every tournament next year and years beyond, right? That's 3 for 3.
Can you say homeschool?
All right. Can I say, thank you, Dynasty. Unbelievable. Thank you.